Today we're going back to basics. I'm going to show you how to cook rice and make it come out perfect every single time. To demonstrate that, I'm going to be making a saffron rice, but really and truly, this video is not about the recipe, it's more about the techniques. And for me, a rice that is perfectly cooked is rice that is very tender, but not clumpy and not starchy, grainy, but not hard, and has a nice sheen to it. So I'm going to show you step by step how to achieve that. So let me jump into it one time. The first step in achieving our perfectly cooked rice is to wash the rice. And we're not washing the rice because the rice is dirty or anything like that. We're washing the rice to get out the starch in the rice. Sometimes you cook rice and you find that it's very clumpy and very gooey, and that's because you didn't take out enough starch in the rice. So we're going to wash the rice. So you will see that the water starts to turn cloudy, and that is literally the starch coming off the grains of rice and getting into the water. And I like to rub the grains in my hand, and that helps to remove some of the starch off the surface of the rice grains, even more than just running water on it. So a good tip is to apply a little abrasion with your hands, and that helps to get off some of the starch. And you want to change the water as well. So just strain out some, add back fresh water, and then again rub the grains in your hand to release some of the starch off the rice grains. And you want to repeat this a couple of times until the water gets more clear. You're not going for it to be totally clear. That would mean that you're washing all the starch out of the rice, and we don't want that. We want some of the starch in the rice to remain. We just don't want too much of it. So again, adding fresh water, rubbing the grains in my hand, and that removes the excess starch from the rice grains. Of course, if you're making something like rice porridge or something like that, you would keep the starch in because the starch is what helps thicken your rice porridge. But we're not making porridge, we're making a pilaf or saffron rice. So we want that nice grainy rice, grainy texture, but still tender when you bite into it. Alright, so we're good to go here. The rice has been washed, so let's get to cooking. Okay, the next crucial step is sauteing our aromatics before we start to cook the rice. And this is important because we're not using any vegetable stock or any chicken stock or beef stock. So essentially what we're doing here is creating our own stock. When we saute the aromatics, we build in flavor, we extracting the flavor from each of those aromatics. So we're extracting flavor from the onions. And of course, you know, the sauteing process helps caramelize, break down the natural sugars in the aromatics or the veggies that you might be using. Add in some ginger as well. Pimento. Some celery and shadow benny. And some garlic. So that right there is our flavor base for our rice. So sauteing these aromatics, the onion, the ginger, the garlic, the celery, the shadow benny, is going to create our flavor base for our rice. And that way, when we add our liquid, which would be water or coconut milk, depending on the rice dish that you're making, you don't have to worry about adding any kind of extra flavor by using a broth or a stock, because we're creating our own stock here. So it's important to saute the aromatics. Of course, you want to season with salt and some black pepper. So we've been sauteing the aromatics for about 2 minutes and we have some nice color going on it here. So now I want to add the rice. Now we're not adding liquid yet because we want the rice to toast in the oil and absorb the flavor of the aromatics. It'll help penetrate the rice and make sure that you have a flavorful rice. I know at this point some people would add the liquid and then add the rice, but for me, I like to add the rice first and just let it kind of toast with the aromatics, and then I will add the liquid after. So it really doesn't matter like if you're making pela or if you're making baji rice, okra rice. At this point, people would add the liquid and then add the rice. For me, I like to add the rice first and let it toast for a while, 2 to 3 minutes. And then I will add my liquid. And again, for me at this point, the rice is toasting with all the aromatics, spices, if you have spices in there as well. If you have meat, you get in all the meat flavor penetrating the rice, and that ensures a flavorful rice dish. And well, because we're making saffron rice, at this point, I'll add our saffron or turmeric. Mix that up. I'm going to cover this and just let it toast for about 2 minutes. Alright, so now for the part that I think intimidates a lot of people when it comes to making rice dishes, and that is knowing how much water to add. Now, the rule of thumb is 1 to 1. So, 1 to 1 in terms of the ratio of rice to water. Now, I am using 2 cups of rice here, so I am adding 2 cups of water. And that will follow through no matter how much rice you're cooking. If you're cooking 20 cups of rice, 20 cups of water, that is the rule of thumb. 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water. So adding our water in. And doesn't matter if it's coconut milk, same thing. You might want to interchange it in terms of your coconut milk to water. So 2 cups of rice, I could use 1 cup of coconut milk, 1 cup of water. But it's always the ratio 1 to 1 in terms of liquid to rice. So here we have our rice ready to cook, ready to go. So also you have to bear in mind that the amount of rice that you're cooking will determine how long it would take to cook, the size of the pot, the amount of heat that you have. A pot like this with 2 cups of rice, the rice should take between 8 to 10 minutes to cook perfectly. So again, you just want to bring it up to temperature on medium to high heat. And then once it comes up to a boil, once it starts to boil, as you can see, it's starting to do here. You're seeing the water starting to bubble. At this point, I'm going to cover it, lower the heat to the lowest setting, and let that cook for 8 to 10 minutes. In 8 to 10 minutes, we'll check back on it and see how it's going. All right, 8 minutes later, and look how we're looking here. We're looking like we in a gear. Check the bottom of the pot. No bun sticking to the pot. That is the first thing that you would notice. Once you follow these steps properly, no set of bun. We have no wastage in terms of rice sticking to the bottom of the pot, and bun that we can't really eat. I mean, you could eat it depending on how much bun it is or how the bun is. But again, right amount of liquid to the right amount of rice, and then covering it and allowing it to cook and steam for 8 to 10 minutes would result in this perfect consistency. Zoom back in now to show you what I'm talking about in terms of the consistency. So as you look here, you can see that the rice grainy, but it's not hard. Let's get a spoon and check it. All right, so checking it here, and as you can see each grain. You have no rice clumping up together or nothing like that, and that's what we're looking for. It have a nice sheen on it, as you can see, and that is from the oil. And I like my rice to be like that, not too hard and starchy and sticking together. each rice grain could stand on its own. For me, that is a perfectly cooked rice. So I'll go in for a taste here. Perfectly cooked. Let me just finish off this rice with some fresh herbs. Toss that. A perfectly cooked rice pilaf in the form of saffron rice. So two situations you might run into while cooking your rice. The first one being that you might have too much liquid in the pot and wondering what to do as your rice almost ready and you have too much liquid in the pot. Don't be afraid to use like a ladle and take excess liquid out of the pot and remove it and allow the rice to dry down, allow the liquid to evaporate, and then you should be okay. Or the next situation that you might find yourself in is that you reach the time where the rice is ready to come off the heat, but when you check it, you realize that you have no more liquid and the rice isn't finished cooking yet. It's still too grainy, still too hard. What you would do in that situation is you could either top it up with a little bit of water, just a little bit, and then cover it and allow it to continue cooking. Or sometimes all you need to do is switch it off, keep it covered, and allow the residual heat and steam to finish cooking the rice. If you find like the cover that you have for your pot is not like a heavy cover to trap the steam in, and what you could do is use some foil. You use some aluminum foil, you cover your pot, then add the cover on top of that, and that will trap the steam in the pot and allow the steam to finish cooking the rice. So there's two tips that you could use if you either have too much liquid or you find like, all right, you don't have enough liquid and the rice still grainy. You could salvage or fix your dish by using those two tips. So yeah, we're in a gear here, rice finished cooking. The only thing left for me to do now is to find something to eat this with. Have some pak choy in the fridge. I might go and just kind of saute that down or make some stew tuna or something like that. But yeah, good to go here. I hope this video was helpful if you're looking to make your rice dish in the future, whether it's pilau or okra and rice or bhaji rice, whatever the case may be. I hope that the tips that I had in this video help in some way or the other. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please give it a share, and if it does help, post a comment below and let me know how it helped in you making your rice dish. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.